and welcome to episode 1 of the Vancast with Jay, that's me.
Hello, Jay.
And Steve, that's him.
That's me. Hello.
I'm going to address the elephant in the room straight away, and Steve's choice of shirt. Would you like to explain the shirt to me and why?
You're slagging off my shirt already here.
I mean, are we going on holiday in the van? Or?
Oh, I'll tell you what it was, is this morning when I set off for work, the sun was beaming. It was boiling hot yesterday. So I thought, let's just embrace the sunshine, you know what I mean?
Let's go for that. So, as you heard, as he was getting ready for work, so me and Steve actually worked together in a school. We won't mention which one, but I'm sure people that find this will know where it is and we'll be all over the place, but that's fine. We met at a school. We ended up talking one day at, it was at a staff do, wasn't it? A summer staff do that I didn't really know who you were. It was just, you were messing about with you were doing the DJing, weren't you?
Yeah, well what it was is to save the school hiring a DJ. I've got all the gear anyway. So I was like, I tell you what, I'll set the gear up and I'll just put a big playlist on. And then, anyway, Jay's over requesting songs and stuff like that.
May have sang a couple too.
Singing a few, yeah. Barbie Girl and songs and that.
Well, yeah. I think the big one at the end of the night was Angels, wasn't it? Robbie Williams.
Was that you?
No, I think it was just on. You'd left early.
Oh, right.
You left early.
Right.
But we had Angels on.
Yeah. Classic.
Classic. So that's how we know each other. And what happens each day is Steve gives me a lift to work, and
a lift back.
And a lift home as well. And we just chat absolute tripe about music, TV, just everything. And there's never not a bit of conversation going on in the van. So I thought, tell you what, why don't we do a podcast?
Let's just film it and record it.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Either loads of people will like it, or just us two will like it, and it'll be fun for us anyway. So that's what we've got to do.
Well, I've got to sort of apologise a bit today, Jay, because as you can hear in my voice, I've been gigging all weekend, and my voice is a bit knackered today.
Well, you know, you are a superstar kind of singer, professional singer and all that.
No,
you know?
maybe I should
professional musician, you know.
Professional shouter, that's what I am.
And who were you gigging for, Mr. Stephen?
Well, this weekend it was me and my brother, MAVMAC were called. So, we had 2 gigs one was in Towin and one was in Kimmel Bay this weekend. So, and they were brilliant gigs, packed to the rafters, but boiling hot as well. So
yeah, it's getting a bit warm now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit of news. We're saying news, just a little bit of stuff that's going on in the world with music and all that kind of thing. So next week it's Glastonbury. I love watching Glastonbury. It's always on the BBC.
Do you watch it every year?
I watch it quite a lot. It depends on who's on it. But yeah, I will try and watch little bits of it. Especially when the one of many times Coldplay
oh yeah, right.
headlining. I've never been to Glastonbury. I'd love to go. It just, for me, it's a lot of money for 4 days. And it's, you know, and with us working in a school, it's hard to get that time off. And it's always on within school time, so you can never really get off.
Yeah.
But have you ever been?
I've never been to Glastonbury, but I've been to a few festivals in the past.
What was your favourite one?
Well, my first one I had was Leeds Festival in about, I can't remember, 2011 or something, I can't remember. I remember the Kaiser Chiefs were playing.
Nice.
And it was brilliant, the whole festival. I remember Goldie Looking Chain as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were good.
I've only ever been to one, and it was also Leeds Fest.
Was it?
Yeah, it was about 2019, I think 2018. Foo Fighters were headlining, so I got it as a gift for my birthday, and I've always wanted to see Foo Fighters. It's one of the albums, one of the bands that I've never seen that I've always wanted to see. I did actually have tickets to go and see them in London, but Dave Grohl selfishly broke his leg and cancelled the rest of the tour, so I couldn't go.
Inconsiderate.
I know, what a tool. So yeah, I eventually got to go, and we went to Leeds Festival. We only got the day though, so we literally went for the day.
Yeah. Foo Fighters were on that one because we went for the 3 nights. It was me and Becca.
Yeah.
Becca's brother and Becca's brother's girlfriend at the time.
Becca being
Becca is my long-time fiance.
Long-time fiance.
Yeah, it's very long time.
Long time.
We were supposed to get married after like 3 years. You know, once you're engaged, it was like, right, within the 3 years, we'll get married.
How long ago was that?
That was about 19 years ago.
That's a while ago, wasn't it? Yeah. So, you're getting there, though. Hopefully,
getting there. It's baby steps. It's baby steps.
So anyway, going back to Glastonbury, not Glastonbury, Leeds Fest. So we had Foo Fighters were there, and then we got there, and I made sure I got right to the front, and I hugged the barrier, and I was just there all day. I didn't care who else was on. However, I did get to see Youngblood, who was absolutely amazing. I didn't really know too much about him at the time, but now he's massive, and he's like one of my favourite artists. It's just
Have you ever played Youngblood in here?
I don't think I've never played Youngblood. I don't think I put it on that list. So that list that we've got, but he is on my morning run list.
Right.
I think I've got two, maybe three of his songs on my morning run playlist.
And what songs are they?
Hello Heaven Hello, which is a new one. Breakdown, which is class. And then he does he's redone a song called, what's it called now? I can't remember what it's called, but he's basically redone a song from an old thing, so he's on there. And I can't check my phone because there's my phone. I Was Made for Loving You. That's what it's called.
Is it a Kiss song? It's like an old classic song.
I was made for loving you.
Yeah, it's a Kiss song.
Yeah. So he redid that. Sorry about my singing; it's pretty poor. But yeah, it's such a cool song.
My favourite festival.
Favourite festival
is Download Festival.
Nice. Okay.
Which I know you like some heavy rock stuff, but
there's heavy rock stuff, and then there's ridiculous. I'm not into the ridiculous, but I know you quite like that bit, don't you?
I'm very, very eclectic in what I like.
Me too. I mean, I've gone from Linkin Park to Youngblood to Foo Fighters to Britney Spears.
Pretty well.
Always a fan of Britney.
Very good.
Well, we can get to the Britney versus Christina argument another day.
But we went to Download with Becca and Becca's brother. The girlfriend wasn't around. Becca's brother's girlfriend. Oh dear. So, but that was brilliant. The weather was like 1 billion degrees, sunburn all the way. But the gigs were great. The shows were brilliant. The Prodigy were absolutely immense. But we did discover something on that festival called a beer bong.
Oh.
And a beer bong, for those of you that don't know, is like a tube with a funnel on the top. And stupidly, you pour drinks in it with the tube in your mouth, and it
straight down.
Oh yeah. We weren't fit for driving. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, fit for anything, to be honest.
Fit for anything.
Fit for walking, crawling. You could sleep though, maybe.
Definitely sleep, yeah. And be sick. That was the other one you could be.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I've never been drunk. I don't drink, me. I'm teetotal, yeah.
You've never been drunk?
No, never.
You weren't in the Osmonds or something like that, were you?
No. All right. So come away from the festivals then, so what gigs have you been to? It's like...
I've been to Limp Bizkit back in the early 2000s on their hot dog flavoured water tour.
Nice.
Which was brilliant. Which was great, that, because I think the way we got the tickets for that is my dad had been to buy tickets for him and my mum for some like Motown show or something.
Oh yeah.
And anyway, he comes back and he was like, right, I bought you and your two brothers tickets for something. Anyway, I was like, oh. Anyway, had a look, Limp Bizkit. So I was like, yes.
Nice.
And I'm not joking, that gig's one of them. We were seated by the side of the stage. It was classed as obstructed view.
Yeah.
Because Godsmack was supporting them. Listen how heavy that sounds. We're supporting them, and they had like, they have like statues and stuff on the stage.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the obstruction, but to be fair, it wasn't even in the way for us, so they were brilliant.
Good seats.
But what I loved about that gig is, I mean, the gig itself was brilliant, but you could see the crowd or like an animal, you know, bouncing.
Yeah.
It was like a sea. It was just brilliant, you know, to watch.
That's cool.
And also, we took our dad. He actually got 4 tickets.
I took you as well.
Well, what it was is he said, you can give this ticket to whoever you want. And because he bought them, we were like, come on, you come as well. Not that he's a Limp Bizkit fan. I think he is, really.
Yeah.
But in the end, he was rolling. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Oh, it was brilliant.
I think my favourite gig that I've been to, I've been loads, like, so I've seen the Phonics, Coldplay loads of times, but my favourite one's probably Linkin Park.
Brilliant.
Being able to see them before obviously Chester passed away, it was so good. I mean, we were right at the back as well, dead centre, but right at the back. But it was just the show that they put on, and just so good performing wise. It was just unreal.
So what was it? Was it the Texas? They've got a live DVD, haven't they? The Texas.
Yeah, I think it was actually that tour. I think it was.
Yeah,
I mean, they opened up with No More Sorrow. I'll never forget that. It was just the way it opened up, and it was just, oh yeah. I didn't have a voice that night after that, to be fair. But
no,
definitely 100% my favourite gig that I've been to.
Yeah. No, I'm gutted I didn't get to see.
I know. It was one of the things that I'm really kind of glad that I did get to do before, obviously, Chester passed away, which was such a sad story. But yeah, so we move on.
Anyway, let's live the mood.
So the next part of the podcast here, the Vancast.
The Vancast. Hey, just to let you know as well, it's not a cast about vans, is it?
It's not a cast about
It's
vans.
in the van.
We're just in the van. So we're going to, each week we're going to do a top 3 of a choice. So this week we've gone for our top 3 albums of all time, or your top 3 favourite albums.
Yeah, hard work.
This was a struggle. So give me your number 3.
My number 3 is Kid Rock.
Oh.
Devil Without a Cause.
Okay.
And the reason is, again, long story short, back when that album came out, we had a manager and he went to America, and he came back from America with an album each for me and my 2 brothers. And my album was Smash Mouth, actually.
Nice.
Astro Lounge. So that's the one with All Star on, before it was in Shrek and all that. Chris had an Aerosmith CD, because Chris is like a massive Aerosmith fan. So is Lewis, so am I, to be fair. And then Lewis had Devil Without a Cause by Kid Rock. But I think because Lewis just rammed it down our throats all the time, I just became obsessed with the songs. And then, at the time, you did have your Limp Bizkits and your Kid Rocks and all them, and it was full all over MTV. So I just became quite obsessed with it, and I know like every word to every song.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the albums. So you choose the albums, your favourite albums, I think, based on, for me, I know every song on the album, I know every word on the album, where you have some artists that have albums that they've got some amazing songs on, but you only listen to 2 or 3 songs on the album. Yeah.
Alright, what's your number 3?
So my number 3 is Performance and Cocktails by Stereophonics.
That's amazing.
For a simple reason is, when I was early teenage, kind of getting all into music.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Oh, where did you grow up, by the way?
Manchester.
Manchester.
You can't tell from that
Alright,
accent.
yeah. Back in the day, Manchester.
I was very pop, kind of Britney Spears, Billy Piper, Backstreet, all that kind of. And 5, which we still have.
Did you wear shirts like this by any time?
No. But we're going to go see 5, aren't we, this year?
Yes.
Yes, we are. So I was into all the kind of pop stuff, and I had a friend who was into like indie kind of, all that kind of music, and then he introduced me to Stereophonics, and I fell in love with Pick Apart That's New. Just fell in love with that song, and it was just like, wow, okay, now I kind of get what music is, and that album just changed my whole kind
It's funny you saying that
feeling
about
on an album, on
that
music.
song, because when I was doing my work experience at graphic design, when I was in school, I used to get the train to work, and on, you know, one of friggin' Now 34 or whatever it was called at the time.
Oh, those Now albums were amazing.
Yeah, you had Pick Apart That's New, and the two songs I used to listen to on repeat on my Discman, my Sony Discman, was Pick Apart That's New and Right Here, Right Now, Fatboy Slim.
What a tune that is, by the way.
I know, yeah. So yeah, anyway.
By the way, I think you can tell how old we are now by what we're talking about. We're not young teeny boppers anymore.
We had the gramophone and we had, no, we didn't.
The ZX Spectrum.
Did you have a Spectrum?
No, I didn't have one, but it was around our time, wasn't it?
I did have a Spectrum.
Did you?
With the gun as well.
Nice.
Duck Hunt.
Jeez, well.
Yeah.
Your number 2 album, Stephen?
Number 2 will be similar again, Limp Bizkit, Chocolate Starfish, and the Hot Flavored Water.
It's a great album, that, to be fair. It is a great album.
Do you know what though? I'm on the fence with that one, because the first Limp Bizkit song I ever heard, I was landscape gardening with my granddad as a part-time job when I was like 15 or 16, however old I was. And on Radio 1, we had like a wireless radio in the garden as we were mowing the grass. And Take a Look Around came on, the Mission Impossible tune.
I think that's what got everyone, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, but what you didn't realise is Limp Bizkit had an album before that.
Yeah.
Well, they actually had 2 albums before that. But I think over in Britain, they weren't really known that well. Anyway, I ended up loving that. And I think I bought the single, and then the next minute I went to Cavern Records or whatever in Rill, and I bought, what's the first one? Oh, Significant Other. Yeah. That's the second album. But that's got songs like Break Stuff and Just Like This and Nookie and stuff like that. I didn't actually like it at first. The only one I liked was Just Like This, because weirdly I thought it sounded like the Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
And then as time went on, I liked every song on that, but I weighed them up today for this, and I was like, if I had to pick, I would pick Chocolate Starfish.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
my number 2 is going to be Parachutes by Coldplay. First album, for me, the first 2 albums of Coldplay were by far their best albums. But Parachutes is just, it's another one of those where every song I will listen, I will sing to it, I know every word to every song. I even learned to play, I don't play instruments like yourself, but I even learned to play a couple of the songs on the piano because of
what song?
Trouble. Right. Probably the main one. And then I learned Clocks, but that was from Rush of Blood to the Head.
What was The Scientist on?
The Scientist was also on Rush of Blood to the Head.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that before or after Parachutes?
Yeah, Rush of Blood to the Head was the second album, Parachutes was the first.
Right.
And you had Trouble and Yellow, which were the 2 massive ones.
Yeah, I remember Yellow
on the
coming
first
out.
album. Yeah, they were the first album. But still, to this day, I just always listen to that album. You know. So, and again, it was at that kind of time and era where I was still kind of understanding what music was and enjoying it and actually having a different kind of taste.
I like it. Yours is a slightly more mature music than mine. You know what I mean?
Yours is all like,
Mine's shouty, sweary.
So then we come down to your number 1. What's your number 1?
Right, again, difficult this one. Difficult. And anybody that ever speaks to me knows this, that I am the biggest Oasis fan that has ever existed. Ever. I mean, that's probably a lie. There's probably people I've got tattoos of Noel on there, you know, whatever. But
I mean, we can arrange that if you want.
it's all right. I've got Liam on my bum cheek. No, I haven't. It would be What's the Story, Morning Glory.
One album.
Very, very, very close to Definitely Maybe though. When I was a kid, basically the quick story with the band is when I was like 12, I ended up having a keyboard teacher or a piano teacher came to teach me songs. He was good because he didn't teach music theory much. He did a bit, but it was more what do you want to learn, which was brilliant because it was like I got to learn songs that I loved and then got to play them to my mates, so it was cool immediately. Anyway, one of the very first songs I learned to play was Don't Look Back in Anger.
Nice.
And then when me and my brothers started in our band, and we used to gig straight away basically after that, Oasis were like gigantic at the time, so we played Don't Look Back in Anger, She's Electric, Wonderwall, Half the World Away. I know that's off the other album, but
absolute tunes, aren't they?
all of them. Anyway, but I never actually. And then when Do You Know What I Mean came out off the next album, I think it just solidified the fact that I loved them so much, and that was at the time as well. I was only like 13 and 14, and you sort of. I think that's about the time where it solidifies, you know, what you actually like.
Yeah.
And even as time has gone on, I know people sort of slag Oasis off a bit because of the way they are, but for me, you can't knock the anthemic thing that they do. And people go, oh, well, easy to play. They are easy to play, but make them up then.
Yeah.
Make them up. Let's hear your version.
It's such an easy song. But it's such an easy song, and it's so simple that it's so good, and that's what it is. It's like, you know, you got musicians all over the world trying to make the best song ever in the world. You'd be happy if you made a song that was half as good as any of Oasis songs. Yeah.
Well, they tend to have this thing on, especially What's the Story, Morning Glory. But Noel's got a thing about that album that he'd actually written most of the songs for Definitely Maybe, which is the first one, and What's the Story, more or less at the same time.
Yeah.
And then bits that he didn't have for the second one, he said, What's the Story, Morning Glory is in two halves. And you've got some songs that they're fully completed songs, and then you've got other songs that have got the same verse twice. And he reckons that's just because he couldn't be bothered making up a second verse.
Fair enough.
But weirdly, that makes them really catchy and memorable, because you're singing the same thing twice. So I think that's more of a technicality, but yeah, I could sit and listen to any Oasis song all day. So yeah, that's mine. Right, your number 3.
My number one. My number one. I mean, we've already spoke about this band today, but my number one is it's Aqua. Okay. My number one is Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. I just remember that album. I borrowed it off a friend, again off a CD. My friend had it, and we listened to it at his house all the time. And I borrowed it, and I don't think I ever actually give it him back.
Oh right.
Because by the time I'd finished with it, I'd just worn it out. And it's another one where it's just every song,
on your Discman.
Amazing. On my Discman and on me hi-fi.
Yeah, hi-fi.
Hi-fi. And to the point literally where it would just really annoy everyone because I was constantly playing this album. Yes, again.
What's your favourite? If you had to pick one on it.
I mean, it's easy to just say In the End, isn't it? And it probably is. It's probably going to be In the End, but there's so many. Crawling, I love. One Step Closer, I love.
One Step Closer was the first thing.
Yeah, One Step, and it was just. But when they first came out, a friend from school was like, "Oh, I really like these," and this was at the point where I was still absolutely inept with what music was. I was like, "It sounds shocking. What is this?" It's just. I wasn't musically there, and then eventually I ended up getting into it and listening to it. I was just like, yeah, it's class. So, and it's one album. It's just one album that will always just go. If I need something, what am I going to put on when I'm running? If I need an album that's...
It's definitely a running thing. Loads of Linkin Park songs are that.
Yeah, stick it on, and it just I just love it. It's just such a good album. Such a good album.
Runaway's on there as well, isn't it? Yeah, that's brilliant.
I mean, you could put every single song on there. And
can you go this way?
You can go left, yeah.
Oh, I've never been this way.
Have you?
Well, I have, but not dropping him off.
So there we go. What we are going to do, honourable mentions. Give me an honourable mention.
Right, this is going to be totally out there now.
All right, it's not going to be another Oasis album.
It's not. It's not even going to be rock. It's going to be five.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, well, when I was a kid... learning music, obviously Oasis were out, and who else was out? 5. So
Yeah.
everybody get up. If you got the feeling,
Yeah. Well, I can't.
maybe when the lights go out,
We love 5, to be fair.
don't lie and say you don't like
Yeah.
5.
Everyone loves 5.
Everyone loves 5.
Everyone loves 5. Well, everyone our age loves 5.
Yeah, don't lie. Do you love 5, Jay?
I love 5.
Who's your favourite member of 5?
Well, Jay, because he's got the same name as me. So, you know, there
Very
you go.
good, Jay. I never even noticed that.
Do you know a clock cat?
No.
But yeah, so my honourable mention, I couldn't really, I was going to put it in my top 3, but I thought, well, I can't really because it's a mix of a lot of different albums. And it was going to be the Beatles' #1 album.
Yeah, see, that's proper. That's proper,
Because the Beatles are just, if it weren't for the Beatles, the music that we've all got now just wouldn't exist. The Beatles just started that different type of rock, pop, however you want to call it.
Well, they were classed as a boy band, weren't they?
Yeah.
But I think that's just because they were smart.
Yeah.
They were smart lads with haircuts that were fashionable at the time. But again, it's the same as Oasis. Make up Hard Day's Night and make up Twist and Shout. I think that was a cover, actually. But anyway, I saw her standing there. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What's your favourite Beatles song?
Hey Jude. Or Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, which is a bit weird.
Right, okay.
But I've got loads. I like loads of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's yours?
Come Together.
See, that's a tune.
It's my karaoke song as well, so you know.
Well, Aerosmith did a cover of that.
Yeah, so didn't loads of people did covers. I'm sure they have.
Well, the first version of that I heard was Aerosmith.
Right, okay.
And so when I first heard the Beatles doing it,
yeah, you're like, what's
but
this?
I was like a late starter with the Beatles. It was from that album as well. I think Becca had a CD in a car, and because back in the day we were running tracks on a auxiliary cable and an MP3 player.
Oh yeah.
Not even like an iPod. It was just like a little MP3. It could hold about 9 songs. But she had some CDs in a glove compartment, and one of them was the Beatles' #1s. And as I put it on, we were going somewhere, coming back from a gig or something, one of my gigs, and every song I was like, these are all amazing, all of them.
That's cool. I kind of had no choice about the Beatles, so you know what Paul McCartney's real name is?
Is it James?
It is James, and that's why my mum named me James Paul, after James Paul McCartney. If you didn't know that fact about Paul McCartney, now you do. I had Beatles literally thrown down my throat. They did like films, didn't they? So I always watched the films because they did like help. They did films, and so my mum had them on VHS, so we used to watch them all the time. And yeah, I was always going to like the Beatles, but yeah. So honourable mention, the Beatles.
Very good. Right, we've got this idea that what we're going to do is each time we do one of these, we're going to have a song of the week. So it can be a song that someone, if you want to message in or email in or whatever, tell us, we're going to pick a song, and it will be song of the week, and we'll play it at the end of the Vancast.
So it'll be someone that's unsigned or someone that's a small band, someone that, you know, we don't, because everyone always knows the Oasis, the Linkin Park. Let's try and get a little bit of other music out there. But just for today, we're going to put a song out from a band called McElroy, I think they're called. Who are McElroy?
Who are McElroy? They're 3 lads all the way from Towin, consisting of Stephen McElroy, Christopher McElroy, and Lewis McElroy. Basically me and my 2 brothers.
Yeah, so Steve's obviously still in this band with his brothers. There's a song, and this is on Spotify, so we're going to do a playlist. So we'll put a Spotify playlist of all some of the songs that we've talked about today, but we'll put the song of the week on as well. And it's called Feel So Alive by McElroy. It is actually, as I keep telling you, it's on my morning run playlist. 1, because I think it's a tune, and 2, just to help you get some extra streams.
Well, thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome, mate.
No, he tells me if I'm playing random playlists in the van here and it comes on, I'm sort of immediately, I'll skip it because I've heard it. And Jay's like, no, leave it on.
Definitely leave it on.
Cheers, Jay.
It's all good. So that's the idea. So if you're in a band, or you know people that are in a band that aren't signed, or relatively unknown, and you want to throw something our way, we're always looking for a song of the week. So whack your song of the weeks into our comments, DMs, email us, whatever you want to do, and we'll try and hopefully be successful and get your song in. And we'll always play it at the end of the Vancast.
The thing is with the band thing there as well, we know what it's like from us lot over all these years playing. Anybody that can help expose your songs to people, you need that. Because people won't hear your songs unless they're exposed, so the least we can do is help you get your songs out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if they stay on your computer and no one listens to them, what's the point? You know what I mean? So.
And so far we've got 3 followers on Spotify, so
wow.
You'll get 3 more listens at least.
That's amazing.
So we'll go from there.
That'll make me about 1/4 pence on a.
Oh, outstanding. We'll go from there. So that was week 1 of the Vancast. Uno done. I think quite enjoyed it, but generally, so we'll drive every day, and this is what the conversation is. This is what we'll do. We'll just chat randomly like this. So if you want to listen, brilliant. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, follow everything that everyone else does, and we'll just see how we get on. And next week,
I think next week we'll talk a bit about running.
A bit about running,
because we haven't spoke about running.
Not spoke about running because we both run.
We both run. Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit more about this next week.
Yeah, hence the R
for running. And we've got some other ideas, so we'll throw them out and see where we go, and we'll try and stick to some kind of format that works.
Yeah, if only we worked 4 hours away from work.
I know. We are.
A very, very long podcast.
My phone would be full.
But the batteries would be dead on the mic.
Yeah, that too. So thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Arrivederci.
Hey, now I can tell you've got a place we can go, 'cause I can see that look in your eyes. You're a pretty little liar, a runaway show, and I'm completely hypnotized. So tell me now, can you feel the power? Scream a little louder, alright. Oh baby, the flames are getting higher, smoke without a fire ignite. Until the sun rises up, till the thunder erupts, we're gonna feel so alive. Ain't no way we can stop, when the night's all we got, make us feel so alive. Oh, I feel so alive. I make me feel so alive. Oh yeah, I feel so alive. Steaming up the city like a runaway train. This fever's got me way off the slide. You're a vision, I'm an angel, a devil within, and nothing's gonna tame you tonight. So tell